Welcome to In the Jump Seat with Jacqueline. In this series, we're going to meet the founder of a nonprofit organization. We're going to tour a bee farm, we're going to prepare some food with a world-class chef, and we're going to meet the owner of a small boutique right here in Okotoks, Alberta. So buckle your seatbelt and join me in the jump seat. Hi, welcome to this episode of In the Jump Seat with Jacqueline. I'm so excited for you to get to meet Chef Jordan Shane. She's the owner of Modern Catering, located in Okotoks, Alberta. She's the only female Canadian Gold Seal chef, and I can't wait for you to meet her. Oh, Jordan, I'm so excited to be here in your space. Like, this is an amazing, quaint little boutique, but it's actually not just a boutique. It is called
Modern Catering Boutique Cafe.
Nice. Let's define exactly what you do.
So I started out in French pastry and found it was too structured for me.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of like my own personal torture, just waiting for everything to work out perfectly. And I fell away from that after a couple of years and then became a chef instead, which I love. I love the tangible aspects of being a chef. I love being able to touch things, the smell.
We're going to move right into her pop-up kitchen, and she's going to teach me something great to make that anybody could make. So why don't you join us in the kitchen? So thanks, Jordan. I'm so excited. This all looks really amazing. I wish you could smell the garlic and lemon because we could smell it coming up the stairs. Well, you know, Jordan, let's just dive right in because I'm really excited to learn something that looks really great and edible from Chef Jordan Shane from Modern Catering. You can tell. So let's dive right in. What are we making?
Okay. So I spent a long time, like minutes, almost an hour, thinking about what we were going to do today. And I had all these ideas of grandeur.
Okay.
And I realized being a gold seal, which means I'm constantly thriving for education, I would be doing you a disservice if I wasn't actually teaching you something. So yeah. I'm going to be your culinary dance mom today.
And I am scared.
I am going to show you how to elevate simple things that you would have at home and make at home, whether it's for a date night or if you're entertaining.
Because we want to have date nights.
Oh, yeah.
So?
You had mentioned you're a little leery of the kitchen.
Yeah, you know, like, I mean, obviously we're still, you know, surviving, but I mean, I just like to, I would just like to impress my husband, just once. So I'm excited about pansies. So a lot of people know that you can eat pansies, yes. And I think you can just go out to the garden and get a pansy and put it on your salad and eat it. Is that accurate?
No, super giant, no.
Oh, okay. Okay, so don't do that. Don't do that.
On the seed, if it's coated, which most of them are, it's growing from a chemical. So you want to get an organic seed. The Niagara region is really great at producing them. Or if you see wild ones, which I don't know if you really find those in Alberta. Wild ones are great too. However, you're not just going to go to a local store, buy some seeds, plant them, and eat them. Or just eat them from a basket either.
So we might have just saved a life.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We might have just saved your life. Okay, so what are we going to make? Because I'm excited. Let's just jump in because I am really hungry because I want to eat like all of this separately, but we're going to put it together.
So we're going to do an elevated hummus.
Oh, I love hummus.
So
hummus is like one of my favorite things. And it's so healthy. Hummus is really healthy for you.
And in TV land, it's already made.
Oh, you're my favorite because I have tried to make hummus at home. It doesn't taste like the stuff that I buy.
Well, it shouldn't.
Okay.
It should taste better. Come on.
I find it a little bit of work. Hummus isn't a little bit of work, is it? Yeah, I do. I see, again, that's like where I'm at in the kitchen.
We're going to like carry on this conversation later.
Okay, sounds great.
That's really where you're at, kitchen.
Listen, if the recipe has 3 pictures and 5 steps, that is my boundary. Anything more, I'm out.
What? You're already killing it. Yeah, no, you're doing great already. Like statistically, there has to be one person in the world that can't cook, Mom. But everybody can.
Okay.
It's just not everybody wants to. Just like everyone can build a house, not everybody wants to. Some people can't measure to save a life, whatever. So we have some hummus here.
Okay.
And what you're going to do is just smooth that out.
Okay, like,
Just whatever looks good to you. You can make a shape. I'm just going to use a random tool. And you don't want it too big because you're going to put stuff on it. So that looks perfect.
she's really gracious. Okay, what's
And
next?
then I'll take this from you.
Oh, okay, yeah, thanks.
Okay, so typically what you'll find.
Well, I'm so excited to be with Pamela Morgan. She is the CEO of Key Instincts here in Okotoks, Alberta, founder of Baby It's Cold Outside, which is a nonprofit organization. Is that correct?
Correct.
So tell me a little bit about your nonprofit organization, what it is, who it is for, what demographic, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the pandemic.
Sure.
And how that affected you.
So, Baby It's Cold Outside was founded, I want to say 17 years ago. It seems like yesterday, but about 17 years ago. And where it originated was for vulnerable citizens, right? Okay. Our whole purpose is to offer a hand up to those in need. Big difference between a hand out versus a hand up. We all have challenges in our life. So we want to be here for the Foothills community. We also do have a chapter in Lethbridge. When we're thinking demographics, it is everyone and anyone, right? You just don't know, from youth that are couch surfing to folks that are just have fallen on hard times. And Alberta right now, not just pandemic, but prior to, we were struggling. You know, we've been struggling for quite a few years. And even though we have individuals that do exceptionally well, we wanted to focus on the people that needed a little bit of a hand up. So that's what we do too. So the more energy I think we put into that, the better off we can be, right?
I want to hear more about how they're doing and what your perspective is. So why don't we head into town, grab a coffee, and we'll just talk more about that. You know, I really like this one line, and I'm going to read it so I get it right. You understand and embrace the definition of collaboration. And I can attest to that and affirm that. You have been such a great connector. And I hear that every step I go in this town on this journey for this show, that you have just been connecting people here and there. And people say that. It's not just a, oh yeah, she's great. It's like, oh, isn't she wonderful? You are president of the Okotoks Business Association, and you sit on the board of chambers. And what else do you do? Because I can't keep up.
I love being part of the community, the business community as well as the residential community. So I've had the privilege of living here for 24 years. And in that, I've just embraced every moment. You know, when we moved to Okotoks, there was 7,000 people, one traffic light, one grocery store, and the beauty of Okotoks is it still has that small town feel, and that speaks directly to the collaboration. I just think it's so important. There's enough for everyone. And if we work together for a common goal, can you imagine how powerful we can be, right? And it goes back to my phrase of the power of one. So the power of one, it only takes one person to create that change, and the ripple effect, that the cause and effect that comes from that is so beautiful. Wow. So that's really what my goal is while I'm here in this community.
Well, I'm excited to be able to introduce you to Tamara Anderson. She is the owner of Minton Maple Clothing Boutique here in Okotoks, Alberta. And a little fun fact is her clothes have dressed me all day. And for this whole show, actually, for each episode, you have been an amazing stylist for me.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you.
It's been an honor to be part of your crew. So thank you for reaching out to me and coming. And little did you know that I actually have a background in fashion styling. So
it's true. The more I got to know you and hear your story, I was like, this girl is crazy. Not just from when I first met her, but your history. So that's just a great segue. So tell us about your background and how you got started in mint and maple.
Sure. So I guess my love of fashion goes way, way, way back to, you know, the beginnings of time for me. But I had, when I was done high school, I really wanted to take something in school that I loved. And so I decided to take fashion merchandising. And I went through that program and was super excited about moving to New York City. I'm going to have a career in fashion. And I had sort of this one track idea of what I wanted to do with my life. Well, I got a little derailed when I met my husband and had kids. So,
Oh, don't we all?
I know it's been obviously a fantastic experience being a mom, and
Yeah,
I
of
wouldn't
course.
trade it for the world. But it did give me some time to kind of put things on hold and maybe change my perspective a little bit. So when this opportunity kind of fell in my lap to take over the shop here in town, I just thought to myself, you know, I've been kind of on this journey over the last 5 years of really trying to get out of my comfort zone. I just thought, I'm just going to say yes. I'm just going to say yes. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go all in. And that's what I've done. And I don't have any regrets. I feel like I am in my place now. It's very satisfying to feel like I'm doing the thing, you know, that makes me feel passionate. And working with other people too is honestly one of the greatest parts of doing this type of a job. You know, I love the fashion, but I also love the people. And that puts a lot of meaning into it for me.
For some of us, it's like, let's get to the heart of the matter. Like, where are things
Yeah.
at? Because as we know, coming through the pandemic, life has been difficult for some, easier for others.
Yes.
You know, there's been lots of negative, but there's also been some positive. How have you been able to navigate through the pandemic with your store that still seems to be doing well?
Right. So energetically, it's been a lot, to be totally honest. It's been sort of a lot of waiting to find out sort of what will come down the pipe as far as like restrictions goes, and sort of waiting with bated breath, like, what are they going to say now? Do I have to shut down? And I basically had to decide that I was just going to go with the flow. There was a reason that this opportunity came, you know, for me, and not everything is in my control. But at the end, but at the end of the day, if I am laying down feeling like I did my best and I, you know, was doing something meaningful, then there's no such thing as failure, really, right? I'm also aware that I don't have anything to compare it to, which I think for me has been made it a bit easier, because all I know is having a shop during COVID. I don't know pre-COVID business life.
Well, when did you get
September is when I opened.
of 2019?
Of 2020.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been just an uphill battle for me. I actually feel like if I can get through this, then everything else is just gonna like be gravy. Hopefully.
That's crazy. Story is exactly the types of stories that we want to get out there about the resilience of the Okotoks community, because you started in the middle of a pandemic. Seriously, like, did anybody go, what are you thinking? Because I would have been saying that.
Nobody honestly really pushed back. All I got was support.
Nice.
I think I was the one that was like, is this a wise business decision to like do this at this time? At the end of the day, I realized there's no good time to take a risk. You can always find a great reason to not do a thing, but I wanted to do my thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna just go for it. I'm just gonna go on.
Hi, Art. Hi, Sherry.
Jacqueline, so nice
Oh,
to see you.
it's so
Welcome,
great
welcome
to
to
see
our
you.
apiary, Shinokani Company.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So we're standing close to an active beehive, and I'm
I see you're a little hesitant about
I am
this.
a little hesitant. What's the worst case scenario? Because I'm not dressed to
go over there.
Okay, well, worst case scenario, I would say probably somebody's going to land on your shoulder or something, and just stay still. The worst thing to do is start flailing your arms, because then they know something's wrong.
Okay, so no flailing, no flailing. That's the worst thing you can do when you have a bee land on you.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, all
So
right.
you and I are going to sneak up on them. So you'll notice here we have two entrances, the top and the bottom, and they're busy at both. The top box has got primarily honey in it, and in actual fact you can see that they're busy. They really don't care about the fact that you and I are standing here.
So just for the record, I'm standing near a beehive that's active, and
yes,
I'm just going to be relaxed
About it.
and peaceful. Just peace and calm, and peace and calm, and nobody's landing. They're just coming in and out.
They just
This is the
don't
craziest thing
care.
I have ever done.
They just don't care.
At them and then put everything back together and leave them and walk away and go to the next hive and so on.
Let's
we're going to light
do
the
this.
smoker here, and then I'll put the hood on and my gloves, and we're going to go to a hive, and we're going to take the top box off, and we're going to have a look.
I'm excited to wear this really trendy outfit and go and pick some honey. So Art, is it true that they actually can recognize your face?
Yes, and if you're really calm around them and so on, they tend to get more used to you. The more laid back you are, the better it is.
Okay, so they don't recognize your scent per se.
Oh yes, they do smell, yeah. Especially if you happen to be drinking alcohol, that's a pheromone to them, and that gets them upset a little bit.
Oh,
So
okay.
you never want to drink when you're around the hive.
Well, that's a good thing to know.
So before we do this,